Can you see my screen now?
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can see it now, right? Okay, fine. So we are saying that for us to get these functions and formulas in Excel, we are going to utilize the formulas tab. So since our go-to tab for data analysis is data tab, and our go-to tab for formatting and organizing data is the home tab, our go-to tab for formulas and functions in Excel is the formulas tab. All right, so here in the formulas tab, we have different formulas that we can use to perform calculation in our data set. Calculations are automatic, and once you enter the function, it gives you a certain result it's supposed to be. We said that we are going to look into 4 functions we use in data analysis, which are the date and time function, the text functions, the logical function, the lookup and reference function. These functions are important because it helps us to understand how to work around every problem we might face in our analysis of data. The first of them is the date and time function, which can also be gotten from the function library just in the formulas tab. So here is date and time function just underneath the text function. When you click on it, you see all the date and time function you can think of when you want to actually work on a data that contains date and time. And we said that we have about 7 functions we're looking into: the day, the days, network days, weekday, week norm, year, and EO month. These 7 functions, we are going to look into it to use them for analysis. And what do they do? Over here, you see the description of what these functions do. So this is description. The day function, what does it do? The day function returns the day of the month from 1 to 31. The day of the month from 1 to 31. So remember, we have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, just like that, right? The 31. So it returns the day number, the day of the month from 1 to 31. Then the days function returns the number of days between the 2 dates. Number of days between 2 dates. So it's different from network days. Days function returns the number of days between 2 dates. The network days return the number of whole work days between 2 dates. Now, what do you mean by work days? Work days include Monday to Friday. So in Excel algorithm and calendar, what we use in Microsoft Office OS, we understand that naturally, work days for humans who work civil servant jobs or 9 to 5 is Monday to Friday, while Saturday and Sunday is considered as weekends. So the network days returns the number of the whole work days between 2 days. For instance, you want to make a reference to a bank worker. Maybe you went to bank and the bank told you to come back in 7 working days. Now your mind, you might thinking that, so 7 working days might be Monday to Saturday or Monday to Sunday, as the case may be. But what they mean is Monday to Friday, then another Monday and Tuesday. That's 7 working days, right? So these network days calculate each result based on this sequence. Holidays are optional. So even if you put 2 holidays as your optional holidays, or you did not put, network days calculates it based on work days. So that's the difference between days and network days. Then for the weekday returns a number from 1 to 7, identifying the day of the week of a date. So in real life, we have 4 weeks in every month. Some months have 4 weeks and 5 days, or 4 weeks and 2 days, 4 weeks and 1 day, as the case may be. Then in an entire year, maybe in 2 months, you might be looking at which particular week is this in the entire year. That is where the week norm comes in. But for the weekday, it tells us if it's Monday, Monday is day one. Let's say this month started on a Monday, right? So Monday for September, let's come to calendar now. So Monday on September is this is day 1, week 1, day 2, week 2, day 3, week 3. Sorry, day 1, week 1, day 2, week 1, day 3, week 1, day 4, week 1, day 5, week 1, day 6, week 1, day 7, week 1. So what we are into now is the 11th day of September, which is day 4, week 2, right? Day 4, because 8 is day 1, 9 is day 2, 10 is the day 3, 11 is day 4. So what we are into in September is week 2, day 4. That is what this weekday refers to. Returns the number from 1 to 7 to identify the day of the week of a date. Then week number is now different from weekday. The week number returns the week number in the year. So in this particular week we are into now, which is the 11th of September, which is day 4, week 2 in September. If you have to calculate the weeks we have already been to, you will see that it is going to be a long week. This might be week 32 for the year, might be week 22 for the year, because entire year we have 52. But this is how this is the logic. This is the logic that comes in the week number and the weekday. Then the year returns the year of a date, while the EO month returns the serial number of the last day of the month before or after a specified number of months. So let's say you have January and you want to know maybe a goods was delivered to you on the 12th day of January and you want to know how long it has stayed, then you can say, okay, 12th day of January 2025, adding like about 3 months to it. Which of the dates will it fall in? That is where the EO month comes in play. So to practice these 7 data and date and time function we just mentioned, let us go to the customers orders sheet, which is in the practice order table. So we are using the data set from our folder, and we are using the one under sales and business, using the practice customer order data, right? Practice customer order data. When you open it, you come to this point where you see this particular data set in place. You see it has about 11 columns, sorry, 12 columns. That's column A to L. It should be 12 columns, if you're not mistaken. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exactly. So 12 columns and about 15 rows of data, right? 12 columns and 15 rows. And in that 15 rows, we say that the row header is the first row, all right? Which, if you have to count the entire range of data we have here, we say that we have about 14 rows of data. So this data set is an entry except from an original data set, which comprises of the order date down to the price per unit of a particular product segment. And we can see here that we have different ship mode, we have different segments, we also have different categories. So we're going to find out how we can use all these functions to get what we want. Now let's start with the first of them, which we saw in the sheet 1, and that is the day function. The day function returns the day of the month from 1 to 31. So let's come right here. I'm going to delete this guy. I'm going to come under this particular table here. So permit me to do this. Why this guy isn't displayed? So I want to merge and center. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to type in date and time. Date and time function. Fine. So the next thing I'm going to do is to freeze this particular row so that whenever I scroll up or down, it will not affect the data I'm looking at. All right. I'm going to freeze this particular row. This row 16, I'm going to freeze this. So I'll have to highlight row 16 to do that. Highlight row 16. Come to the view tab. Then go to the freeze panes, which is just in the window control ribbon. So freeze panes, you see on freeze pane, freeze top row, freeze first row. So we already have a freezed row. What do? We need to unfreeze it first. That's this first row is freezed before. So we come back to the freeze panes again, and then we are freezing top row. When we click on freeze top row, you notice that this guy will just freeze top row. It won't happen on this particular row we chose. So what do? We are going to make sure that we peculiarly highlight a particular set of the row side that we want to freeze. So let's say we want to freeze this guy here. I'm trying to see which row to freeze now. Let me see. No, not give what we want. Fine. So I've gotten what we are looking for. What did I do? I made sure that I am, let me come back to this row 16. This is the best place to be. Then go back to your view tab, freeze pane, and you are going to go to freeze panes only, right? You're not putting freeze top row because top row is already row 1, which is not what we are looking to freeze. And you cannot go to freeze first column because first column is in column A, right? So we want to freeze this particular part we have highlighted. Hence, we click on freeze pane. So with that, we have actually freezed this. So no matter how much you scroll, this particular end becomes static in view, while the rest are all temporarily hidden when we scroll through. So this is what we want to achieve. In this regard now, let us start inserting our functions. So the first of the function is the day function. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it just somewhere here. So in this day function, what do we want to get? We want to return the day of the month from 1 to 31. So we have an already existing dates column, that's column A, and column C, order dates and delivery dates. So we might want to use at least one of order dates and one of ship dates to notice the day of the month it happened, although we already have it here as November 12th, but let's see what the day function returns for us. So we're going to go to the order date first, and next is delivery dates. Having achieved this, let us insert our function. And to do that, we must head on to the formula bar to insert our function. Remember, it is important because when you evolve into other programming language, other data analytics packages for data analysis, such as Power BI, SQL, you see yourself typing into a particular formula bar or console where your different calculations must come in place, right? So into the formula bar, we enter the equality sign. Every function must start with an equality sign. That's a rule of thumb. Every function must start with an equality sign. So equality sign first, except we know that you want to enter a calculation. All right. So with this, you put on the formula, the function first, which is day. Now notice that if you type in day, there are a lot of other semantic functions that will pop up for you, such as the days, the day 360, and the rest of them. Now you're the one that will choose what you want. But because you want to work with the day function and the semantic tooltip, the tooltip there says that returns the day of the month, a number from 1 to 31. That is what you're looking for. So we hit the tab key on our keyboard and then we choose a particular serial number, possibly the order date first, and then close it, hit enter. Are you seeing that it returns the day of that particular month? And the day is what? 5th November 2016. 5th November 2016. What we now want to do for delivery date, we come over here, go to our formula bar again, type the equality sign first, then insert the function day. Hit the tab key to select, and then the serial number we are looking for is this man. And we reference the cell, like you can see, close our parentheses and hit enter. It tells us that this is what? The 12th day. Now, what if we have a usual number? Let's say we copy this particular delivery date and paste it somewhere here, and then format it to be a number. Do you think there is a possibility of us having an answer? Let us try. So here is the date function, the dates we've copied from here in column C2 to become this. So let's try using the day function on it and see whether our referencing will change. So on the day function here now, formula bar again, equal to day, choose the day function, type the serial number, close the brackets or parentheses, hit enter. Did you see what happened here? So even though that you have a number, a serial number such as this, Excel can decode it into the day of the month. And that is what we are seeing just here. What does it mean? This means that your date in Excel spreadsheets or any other spreadsheet for analysis is coded also with a serial number. Remember that the computer is a programming language, an input system that understands binary, right? Zeros and ones. So what we are seeing in our screen is just the output of what happens in the background of the computer system. So right here, the computer system has looked it up and seen that the date function or the date format that my system is into is just as it is. Hence, when I apply any date and time function to this serial number, it will give me or yield this result. So let us keep this as serial number, and it will help us to know what we have done here, and then we can actually be proud of ourselves. So this is how the day function comes to. It tells us the day, like we say, the day function returns the day of the month from 1 to 31. Now let's see the days. Now the days function is used to return the number of days between two dates. Number of days between two dates. So how does that happen? Let's come over here and put the days, right? And after that, what do? That's the function name days. So I'm just going to copy them as it is. Let me just copy them so I will not have to come back to this again. Paste. So for the days function, let's see the difference between two days. That is order dates and delivery dates again. So we come to the cell for order dates, go to the formula bar, insert an equality sign. We must insert this because it shows that we want to perform a calculation, right? So day. Now we are typing day and we have other days function. We are choosing the days only. So with my arrow key, I just click on the days and use my tab key to get the function inside my formulas bar. Now look at what it asks you to insert. Because it is a spreadsheet application, even other analytics tools like Power BI, Tableau, and even SQL, we always look up this way. What does this mean? It means that when you enter a function, it is trying to guide you into what you expected to put as an input in that function, which helps you to perform your calculation. So here we have the days function, and the first input is the end date. All right, so the end date is our delivery date, as the case may be. So let's see the delivery date as an end date. When we chose it or reference it, we put a comma. a space in between, and then our start date is what? Our order date. So we reference it again and close our parentheses, hit enter. Now it tells us that between the order date and the delivery date, they are exactly 7 days apart. All right, 7 days apart. And obviously is what you are seeing here too, 5 and 12. So they are 7 days apart. If you to come for another delivery, maybe for delivery date, you don't need to add anything here because here already has told us the difference between, so I'm going to use a short word, the order dates and delivery dates, right? That's what has shown us the difference between the order date and the delivery date. That's 7 good days. So it shows that for someone that bought a first class material under the category of office supplies with a discount of 0.7%, the person is having just 7 days for his products to be delivered to his doorstep. Let's continue and see what we also discover. Now for network days, notice if there will be a difference between these two dates that we have here. This one's for 7 days. Here is network days. So let's try again. In network days now, you're expected to have the start date come first. In days, we have the end date come first. So just saying this minus this, right? But in network days, we have the start date come first. Now look at how it goes. With the equality sign and type in so we are entering the function, right? Network. And as always, Excel will bring out tooltip for us, all right? To bring out a tooltip for us. So when I put network, you see that the rest has come up. Now the tooltip says returns the number of whole work days between two dates. So I choose from the semantic, I choose the network days. Now the start date is going to be the first order date, comma. Then the next input is the end date, which is going to be the first delivery date. Now you notice what happens are like with so that about the network is quite a mess, but we will continue. Sound almost. So let me share my screen, please. All right, so kindly confirm you can see my screen before we head up.
I can't see it, sir. I can't see it.
All right, so we are back on live. Sorry about the whole mess. Network can be very frustrating sometimes as the weather is not good. So we have inserted or imputed our start date and end date. Notice the difference between what we have in network days and what we had in days function. In the days function, you had to put the end date first before the start date. And we didn't specify any holiday. But in network days, which calculates the number of days between a start date and an end date, where you have holidays, we need to add the formulas are supposed to be. And what does this start with? It starts with the start date. Unlike the days function that started with the end date. After the start date, which is the order date, 5th November 2016, the next is the end date, which is the delivery date, 12th November 2016. Then the holiday, by default, like we said, Excel will put a holiday by default for us, but let us assume that we have 2 holidays in the week. Close our parentheses and hit enter. You notice here that the result is not 7 days as it were for the days function, but it is now 5 days. Now, what does it mean? It means that Excel has calculated what the calendar has said about these particular days, 5th November and 12th November 2016. And notice that there's a holiday in between, which might actually fall down into being a Sunday and a Saturday. So with that in mind, Excel will not add those 2 days as work days. Remember, we said the network days is a function that returns the value of a given set of number according to work days. So that's why we have the work days result as 5. All right. The work days result is 5. Now, we cannot still do the same thing for delivery date, but you can still use that same formula for the second order dates. Now, you have about 2 other dates coming in on the same day, but we have another one that's coming in on a different dates. All right. So this means that this particular customer purchased products, about 3 of them, in the same day, 5th November to another 5th November, and they are all first class products that were shipped, and the delivery dates are all the same. So let's find and figure out the delivery date that is not the same, which is the second delivery date and other dates from Mr. Adrian Barton. So let's use his record to see the network days, the actual days between these 2 dates when there's a holiday. So we come to a formula bar, choosing the cell of choice. Come to formula bar. Remember that cell of choice you chose is where your output will fall in, right? So you add the function, network days, hit the tab key on keyboard, and our start date will be 12th November 2015, while our end date will be 3rd of December 2015. And the holiday is just 2. That is outside of work, like we explained before. After that, close the parentheses or brackets, hit the enter button, and you're good to go. Now, this is that the 16 days. It takes 16 days to deliver from the 20th December to the 27th December, if I'm not mistaken. That should be it, right? Yes, it is. Okay, sorry. 3rd December, my eyes. 12th November 2015 to 3rd December 2015 is exactly 16 days if you should remove the holidays that falls in between. So if you should use a days function now, let's say we try to use a days function, for instance. So I'm going to cut this guy out and place him here. Let's also see the result it will give with the same field. So days function. So the end date is 3rd December 2015 and the start date is 2nd November 2015. close the parenthesis, hit enter. You note something? There's an additional 5 days for the days, right? Now, you see another difference between the days function and network days, how they differ from each other. So when you're working on any of the projects of choice, you see that each objective determines what calculations to perform on it. If the stakeholder or the client is looking for a particular days or duration or difference between two dates while you are considering also holidays, then network days is a go-to function. But if he's considering the difference between just the 2 days, whether there is holiday or no holiday, or there is a Sunday or no Sunday, maybe Saturday or no Saturday, the individual who is analyzing it as the analyst will move straight to using the days function for this. So I hope you are getting how these functions all work. Then for the weekday, so the weekday function returns the day of the week. The day of the week. So how do we calculate that? So this is 5th November. This is 12th November. So let's try that on the delivery and other cells we have created. Then we go to formula equal to weekday. So a serial number, as the case may be, will be our order date, the first order date. Then our return type. Now notice the return type. It says there are many return types from the semantic mod, from the semantic here. A lot of return types. If you are putting 1, it means the arrangement of your calendar by the calendar you are using starts from a Sunday as the first day and ends on a Saturday as the 7th day. If you are using 2, that means your weekdays starts from a Monday, first day, and ends on Sunday, 7th day. So a lot of codes, low codes like 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 are the codes that you assign for the return type, so that Excel will know whether we are calculating Sunday as the first day and Saturday as the last day, or Monday as the first day, Sunday as the last day, depending on the kind of industry we are dealing on. Because you're working on a sales data, we are choosing the first option, which is numbers 1 Sunday through 7 Saturday. So I'm choosing 1. Once I press 1, the return type will give us what we want according to what you are specified. So we put in 1 as the return type option, all right, and close the parenthesis, then hit OK or the enter button. Now notice that it has given us the day number. So for 5th November 2016, the weekday is what? 7. Notice that what we say weekday is, it returns a number from 1 to 7 to identify the day of the week of a date. So from 1 to 7, it says that this other date, 5th November 2016, is day number 7 in the entire week. You see how it is going. So there might be that first, second, third, fourth will carry the first to 4 week. Then possibly in that week of November 2016, there was a 31st of October and also a 30th of October, which fall in between the week of particular order. Let us understand this now. So let me go to my calendar and let me just try to see how fast I can be with switching straight to 2016, so you can understand what happened in this weekday and see how amazing Excel can be in order to calculate these particular problems. So let me see how fast I can be in reaching 2016. Let us see. Okay, fine, I'm here. So this is 2016 and this is November. And we are talking about November what? November 5th. So November 5th, 2016 is on a Saturday. Now if you count Monday, which is the week, this Monday we count it as the week because Monday is okay, Sunday was the first of the week. So we count the week to be a Sunday. Monday 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Do you see it? So if you count more Sunday as the first day of the week, that means Excel calculates Sunday, that was 30th of November, calculates Monday, that was 31st of November, 30th of October, calculates Monday, that was 31st of October, and then Tuesday, that was 1st November, Wednesday, 2nd November, Thursday, 3rd November, Friday, 4th November, then Saturday, which is the 5th November, is day number 7. That is what happened here under the weekday. All right. So this is a practical excerpt of what actually happened. So Sunday 1, Monday 2, Tuesday 3, Wednesday 4, Thursday 5, Friday 6, and then Saturday 7. That's why you have the result 7 as our result here. And that is for what? The other date. Let's see the weekday for the delivery date. So in the same formula tab, equal to, enter the function week num, right? Now serial number is delivery dates referencing the cell, comma. Our return type is what? What's our return type? Our return type, like we said initially, still follow the same format. We are starting with Sunday, so we are using 1, and then we close parentheses and hit enter. Now 12th November 2016 is week number 46. Week number, sorry, I use week num, sorry, should be weekday, sorry about that. Weekday is weekday number 7, right? Weekday number 7 again in that same day. So the same thing we did before, if we do it again, that week that's 12th November 2016 fall in, the number for the week is 7. But if you use week num now, notice that what we used before was the week number. So let's come to the week number, and we choose week num and choose a serial number for other dates. Then our return type should be that Sunday is the start of the week. If you say Monday, it's not bad too. So it depends on how you work on your calendar. I use Gregorian calendar. I don't know the calendar you might be using. So you choose the first one, which is that Sunday starts the week. And after that, you close parentheses, hit enter. Now, on 5th November 2016, it is the week 45 of the year. Week 45 of the year. When we said that the week num returns the number in what? Year. The week number in year. Right? So if we say today is what? Let us try another thing. Let us try something different. So today is 11th of September 2025, and we want to calculate the week num for this particular calendar we are using. So we can go to another cell, enter the week num function, then choose a serial number, which is the date we just inserted, and our return type should be a Sunday starting the day of the week, close our parentheses and hit enter. So you see, for this year 2025, we are in week 37 so far. Week number 37. Now let's see whether if we change this guy, it will format a little bit. So let's say 09/11/2025. Let's see what happens here. You notice what happens here? It gave us week 37 before, now it's giving us week 46. The reason is because we had to swap the dates. Our usual Nigerian date is day before. Is in Nigeria we do DDMMYY, right? DDMMYY. In other countries they do MMDDYY. So depending on how you rearrange your day, it gives you a result. But how do you know the correct results? How do you know the one that Excel is giving us as a response? Well, we like to try to see whether it will tell us the actual results. How do we do that? We come to this 11 that is here. Sorry, this 9 that is here. Now this line can be used as a day, can also be used as a month. This 11 also can be used as a day, can also be used as a month. So we don't know yet whether this result is accurately correct, because our local can actually deceive us. So how do we confirm? We come to this 09 here and maybe add something like 13, right? Okay, let's go. This is 09 already. So you come in the middle here and put 13th. Hit enter. Did you see what happened here? Value error. Because Excel calculates that the middle number in this date is a month, while the one outside of it is a year, is the day. You see that now, this is how you can actually fish out error whenever you are working on a date data. So Excel calculates that the middle number in this, that's the format it is using. The format it is using is DDMM, yeah, right? That's the format this is. This how it is. So what it means that if we say 09, 11, that means for us to actually get what we want, we put 09 here and then put 11 here. Hit enter. Now, this is the accurate results, showing that today, which is 11th day of September 2025, is the 37th week of the year 2025. Remember I said before that this week we are into now might be week 25 or week 30, as the case may be. So I'm close to my own assumption that we are actually in week 37. See how we have used the week norm to find the actual week we are into in a particular year. So if you are on the 25th of December 2025, you might want to use the week norm to find out which particular week this particular date is in the entire year. You will find it again, right? So that's how we utilize the week norm to get our results. So let's come down to the order date, because the delivery date, sorry. So let's enter our week number for the delivery. So 12th November 2016. And we are putting 1 as our return type. We want it to start from Sunday, right? Then hit enter. So you see, the delivery dates fall on week 45 of the entire year, but fell on day 7 of the week. While for delivery dates, the week number is 46 week. 46 week. Why the number of the actual day of delivery is still 7. So you see how this plays a role in what we are working around. Now for the year function, maybe you have a serial number like this guy. So let's just convert this name to serial number. Let's see what the cell will give us as a result. So let's paste these guys here and convert them to serial number, which is this man here, and remove the decimal places. Click OK. Now let's find out the actual year these serial numbers are into. Since we have an expo here telling us this is 2016, 2014, and 2015. Let's see whether this big number here will give us what we want. That's for delivery date. So I come to the year. I put the year function equal to year. Now, what the serial number this guy here? That's the serial number of this year. Now let's see whether it will tally with what we have here as 2016. Close parentheses, hit enter. Are you seeing it? Give us 2016 as the exact year of what we are looking for. And that is what happened here. Notice that we converted this delivery date to a serial number over here. And then we use the year function on it. We have the results. So it has a serial number. Let's just call it serial number for delivery underscore dates. So the text is in let me color the text back to what's supposed to be. Right. So serial number for dates. So I missed serial number for delivery dates. So let's take a serial number for order dates here. Let's take serial number for order dates and paste it here. Then come to a number format and choose number as our data format, and we have this. So I'll call this serial number for other dates, right? So let's find out which year this particular first one will be on. You go to the year row. The next cell beside the year row is cell C24. So we insert our year function in the formula bar, hit enter and choose a serial number, this guy, close the parentheses and hit enter. It still tells us that it's what? 2016. So you see how only serial number, like I said before, serial numbers help us to find out the actual year of choice when we utilize them in any spreadsheet material or spreadsheet package such as Excel. The last of the date and time function of practice is the EO month. And what does EO month do? We said that the EO month returns the serial number of the last day of the month before or after a specified number of months. So let us see how that plays a role. So let us see if we ordered on the 5th November 2016 and we give it like 2 months for delivery to come, which particular date will it arrive? That's just the logic ahead of EO month. We ordered on the 5th November 2016 and we are trying to assume that if you give it 2 months to arrive on the 5th of December 2017. But is that actually how it is? Let's see how the EO month tells us what we need to know. So over here in the cell for EO month, we go to formula bar, enter a equality sign. Like we know that equality sign is a sign that shows Excel that this analysis is trying to perform calculation. So we're trying to enter EO months, and then the start date, let us see the start date is 5th November 2016, comma. Then you'll be asked for how many number of months do you want to work on or calculate on. You put 2 months, close parentheses and hit enter. This is what it returns to us. Returns a serial number. Let us convert it to dates. So come down to dates. And let's say we choose the short date, which is this guy. So you see what it gives us. This tells us that the date that our order will come, if we are to wait for 2 months, will be on the 31st of January 2017. Now let's try that for delivery date and see what we also have. So for delivery date 2 equal to EO mono. Remember, when you are putting a particular function, there's always a semantic and a tooltip that tells you what the function does. So here, like we said before, EO1 returns the serial number of the last day of the month before or after a specified number of months. So what you are seeing here as the 1st of January 2017 is not actually the exact date, but the number of the last day of the month or of the year, as the case may be. Remember, the semantic tooltip says it returns the serial number of the last day of the month before, or after a specified number of months. So let's see for delivery date. So EO months, the start date will be the delivery day. So let's see, we want to give the guy send 2 months to. Let us see the actual date that we are expecting it to come, either before it or after it. So let's close parentheses, hit enter. Now this should be converted back to a date. So click on this and convert it to short date, and you have this. So you notice now that each of them have the same results. One may ask why. This is because the EO month returns the last day of the month of your order. Or the order is supposed to come on the 12th of November 2017 if we are to give it a, what's it called again? A rating. But we have said now that let us see how many, what will be the last digit that comes out for us after we might have calculated that this particular product will arrive in 2 months. And the result is what you are seeing there in the row of EO months. So you see how we have utilized these date functions to a proper degree. So let me go back to my view tab. I want to unfreeze this so you can see clearly. Let me unfreeze that, fine. So you see what we have here. Using the day function, we've seen that we can actually find out the number of days between two dates. Sorry, not two days, number of days. What am I saying? The day function helps us to find out the day number or number of day, yes, in a date. And we see that from the other date and shift date, we all have different date numbers in place. Then the days function tells us the difference between an end date and a start date without adding any holidays or work days. But network days now, we now have holidays or work days. So in network days, we expected to see that Excel will automatically add extra 2 days as holidays for us. That's removing Friday and Saturday. Remove Saturday and Sunday from the work calendar. All right. The next we saw was the weekday. The weekday helped us to find out the actual day of the week of a particular date. Is it week 7 or week 8 or week 9 or week 10 of that particular week? Okay, we have only 7 days in a week. So what it only returns is 1 or 2 or 3 down to 7. So in any date of choice, Excel will tell us using the weekday function, the week, the day of that particular day in that week, like we saw it play out. Then again, we see the week number, which tells us the number of weeks in an entire year for the date we have chosen. And we see it play out evenly for the order date and the delivery date. Then lastly is the year function, which helps us to find out the actual year a particular serial number is or not. So the year for this particular resource we are working on is 2016 for both order date and delivery date. While the EO month gives us the last day of the month of a given date that we specify in the syntax. So we saw that the last day of the month when we added 2 months, sorry. So let's say we are waiting for 2 months for the product to arrive. Which particular month will it come in and how do we expect it to happen? These are the things we have seen in this date and time function for today's class. Please practice what you have been learning. Practice is very important, so I don't forget any function or formula that we have been taught. Also see the videos posted in our YouTube channel, subscribe to it, and put on the notification button to get all the necessary notifications you deserve in this course of lesson. It's very important that you receive the video, you watch the video, and understand very well what to do when the time is right. So practice your projects and also await assessments that will come anytime this week, just to wrap up the days of our learning phase, right? So do you have any questions so far from what we've discussed? Please, if there any question, you can tell me. Let us tackle it as the case may be.
I At the beginning when you explained the serial numbers, I had a question, but then I realized that it's not even something that should be an issue because you've simplified converting it, and so I'm okay with that. But that is why I had the question earlier on in the serial number. I wanted to understand it better, but you've already showed us how to work around it, so I'm okay with it.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I wish the fellows that are missing these classes will always sit down and watch the videos that we are making, because it's very important that they do. Their certification will rest on them working on projects and being attending classes. But I believe everybody knows what is best to do for himself or herself. So having said this, we call it a day and we meet tomorrow, same time, to continue our functions and formulas in Excel. Thank you very much and have a wonderful night's rest.
Thank you, sir, and you too, sir.